Hello everyone, my name's Mike. Welcome back to the channel where I'm renovating an 1880 Federation villa that belonged to my great-grandparents. Today I'm going to be putting up some plasterboard and I'm going to be doing some flushing. So I'll take you along and show you how I do it. Right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put a piece of plasterboard on here because I'm reskinning this, basically the whole house, because this old stuff has got cracks through it. You lean on it and you hear cracking sounds and all that. So like I did in the bedroom, I'm going to reskin the whole house. So I'm going to just put a piece here because I want to flush these corners on both sides so I can plaster it all up and get it looking nice, because as I mentioned, I'm having my 50th birthday party here in a couple of months, or a month and a half, and I want it to look pretty tidy when we have people over. So I'm just going to put a piece here, and then later on I'll come up to it and I'll flush that joint and continue on. Now I'd usually use a utility knife, or a Stanley knife as we call them here in Australia, and I haven't got one here because I needed some new blades, but what I have got is my little knife for cutting the lead for the lead light windows. So that's fairly sharp, so it should do the trick. I haven't got much to do, so it'll be fine. So anyway, what we're going to do now, you don't have to mark it, but it is easier if you do. So I might cut this at, let's just make it 250. It doesn't matter the size for what we're doing here. So we've got our marks, so that's a better angle for you. So now you don't have to, but it's easier if you have it up nice and firm here so it can't slip in. Now you just use any old straight edge you got. You can use another piece of plasterboard. I normally use a spirit level, but I'm going to use this bit of timber for now just because it's handy. So I'll line that up with the marks I've made. Now, with plasterboard, you don't need to be super accurate. Within a couple of mil is good enough. So, cut that down there. Now I can't go down and then I come up from the bottom. So, yep, that's given me a good cut. So now what I do, I've shown you this before. So we'll go this way. Just hold both sides and it didn't cut it very deep because I was using that knife, but it did it anyway. So then all we want to do is just cut down there. You can see how easy this stuff is to work with. Really easy. And that's all there is to it. So we've got that. I'll go get some screws and we'll screw it on. Now all I need to do with this is hold this on here, and I like to keep it in just a couple of mil. That way when you put your corner bead on there, it's not going to poke out. It's going to, you put it on nice and square. So I'll get some screws. Now there's not a lot of timber behind this, but I've got it where I need it, so I'll screw this on here. You just want to go in far enough that you start to pull the paper in. If you break that paper, you then go into the soft plaster that's in the middle, and it just pulls away. The paper will, if you don't break through the paper, it will pull in and stay tight. So I'll just push this so that we're the same down the bottom. Get a screw in here. Bring that back over. So put a few more up here. It's a bit of a personal preference how many you want. So I'll get one in the bottom plate, so down here. Now, when we put the other sheets of plasterboard up to that and on top and everything, and we put the paper tape and everything, that will glue it all together and it will stay strong. That's not going anywhere now. So, and I know there's no timber behind there. Normally I would put a bit, if I'm doing a whole board, I would put some plasterboard adhesive on there, but I'm not going to worry with that with this little piece. It doesn't really need it, so that'll be fine. So we'll cut a piece to go up there, and then we can put the beads down here and we can flush the corners. So I'm going to go 250 again, obviously, so it lines up with the bottom piece. Make sure those marks are lined up. Break it with the knee. Give it a good hard hit. That way you know it's going to snap easily. Straight down. Right, now I need to cut the top off. I'll just adjust the camera. Now I want to go just up inside that. So that's 715, so I might make it 750. So we'll mark this at 750. This doesn't need to be fantastic, so I can just sight it. Give it a whack, cut it through. So I'm going to screw this on, and then I want to show you something. Just get a screw in here to hold it. All right. I don't know if you can see that. I'll get it in nice and close. See these lines here? This is recessed in, and that's so that when you put your tape on there and plaster it, you end up with a flat wall. So when you're doing it long ways like this, or whether you're going vertical with the sheets, always make sure you get those recesses together. And look, if you don't, I like to then go the other way and have the square cut next to each other. I don't think it's a good idea to have a recess and then a square edge. So generally what I'll do is I'll cut the recess off if I need to have a sheet butt up against it that doesn't have the recess. So that just keeps it so that it's all even. You don't want to have a recess and then it step out to the gyprock, then you've got to fill that with plaster. It's a pain. So always keep the recesses together or apart is the best policy. Just on the tools, guys, I just said about the DeWalt drill. I've got a DeWalt cordless jigsaw as well, and I love this. I've got a Makita one, and this one, I think it's a big call, but I think I like this better than the Makita. And a few things, the trigger is a standard trigger that's variable speed. That's really handy. I've got a barrel grip Makita one, and this it's obviously your more conventional style jigsaw, and I don't know if it's just that, but the trigger, the power, and I like this, and so I may even take it into work and swap it over with the Makita one. So anyway, that's my little bit on tools. So I'm going to use this to cut the beading, because I haven't got any tin snips on me, which I would normally use. So I'm just going to cut this off. Bit rough, but it got the job done. Just straighten out the bends. Am I filming? I am filming indeed. All right, so that's going to go in there. Looks good. Needs the bottom trimmed a little bit. Trim that off. Yeah, that's good. Alrighty then. Alright, now I'm going to do something that some people will find quite weird. I'll be back in a minute. So you can see that join there, guys. That's not going to affect anything. It's a nice join. When the plaster goes in all the holes, it won't be able to move. But if you do it, get it good like that. If you can help it, don't join it. Right, so I'm going to put the plaster on. For that, I've got a float. This one's a plastic one, and I've got a plastic trowel as well. So I like this plastic one. It's light, it's flexible, but you can't scrape it down hard. So it's got a short lifespan, but I think it's good for what I'm doing. So I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll try and get you in nice and close, and so you can see how I do it. So now guys, I've got the internal corner to do. So I need my paper tape for that, which I have. Where did I put that? A paper tape. So I've got that. I should have just enough plaster to do the first coat. So I'll get in and I'll run from the arch down first, so I can show you guys, and then hopefully I've got enough to do this whole wall afterwards. So I'll get in and show you that internal corner. So there we have the paper folded in half and ready to go in. So we'll just put that aside and we'll start laying in the plaster. So what you want to do is just build up a nice bead down either side. So not a bead, a line of plaster. So come out about 100 mil or 4 inches. Get some more. You can see the amount of plaster this uses, and you can't skimp, you've got to use as much as you need. So don't be shy. I'll come back and do that other external corner after I've done the internal one. I like to do the internal one first. It's the hardest to do. You don't want wet plaster messing up your line. Alrighty. So get the paper, and this way is nicer. No, it's not. I'll just get a square edge across the top of that, make it a bit nicer. Alright, now lay that in the corner. You can stick it in with your, make sure that folded bit is right in the corner. Run it down there. Alrighty. Get the corner tool now, and that'll push it in and it'll bring out the excess, so you need to scrape that off. Alright, now I like to lay a second coat straight over the top, just a thin one. So just keep working your way down, and you don't want to push the tape into the gap at all. You just want to lay some plaster on top of it. So that's coming up pretty good. I'll do the other side now. While I'm doing this, I can do the external corner. Show you in a sec how it's come up. It's come up superb. Maybe it's just for the camera, I don't know, but it's looking good, whatever the reason. Alrighty, I'll show you a close-up of that. That's come up beautiful. Check this out. Don't worry about the top there. I can tidy that up afterwards. That's only a first coat. Look how that's come up all the way down. Apart from the little bit at the bottom that the skirting will cover. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll push on. I'll tape these horizontal joints up now, and I'll go over the screw holes. So I'll load up my float with some plaster. Looks like I'm only going to get the one joint in. I have to pick up another drum of this. So get that loaded up. Get my paper tape. Might turn this around. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to lay a bed in the recess. So that's quite easy to do. Lay it straight across, scrape it off, it'll come up flat because they've got the recess on either side. Alright, so that's the bed. Put some paper in it. Measure out the length you want. Push that in there. Now, what you want to do is just run along with your trowel. Put a little bit back on the tape that it squeezes out. Push it in nice and hard. You want all the air bubbles out. Now, you don't need to put much more on than what's in there. I try and cover the tape completely, but you don't have to go overboard. So that's good enough. So I might have enough to do the next joint down. get that out of the way. All right, you might be able to see a bit better on this one. So I'll scoop up some more plaster out of the tub. Now there's not much left, so I've got to scrape the sides of the tub. Don't need a lot, but I don't need a lot, I just need enough, as we say. So that should just about do it. So, same thing. Lay in a bed. Don't scrape it off too hard, just to flatten it a bit. That'll do. Now, show you another way of doing this. Stick in one side, push it in, go along, put your trowel there, cut it off. Push that in. Same thing we did before. Cover up the paper if possible. And that's it. All done. Now we've just got the holes, the screw holes. So with the screw holes, dead easy. Go that way and that way. That way, that way. Cross them up. That way, that way. That way, that way. Criss cross. That's all you have to do. Piece of cake. So that's my little tutorial on flushing plasterboard, or installing plasterboard and flushing it. I hope you got something out of it. That's the first coat. So I'll show you the second coat in another video, but basically what I've shown you there covers pretty much every type of flushing you want to do. External corner, internal corner, and horizontal joints. They could be vertical joints, but it's the same thing. So yeah, that's, and you can see it's all pretty smooth straight off the first coat. So now with the second coat, all you're looking at doing is just filling it out so that you get it nice and flat. So yeah, I'll call that an end to this little video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it, and give it a go yourself, because like I said before, the whole point of my videos are to encourage you guys to give it a go yourself, and a lot of the stuff I'm doing is dead easy. You know, even if you have to refer back when you get the plaster out and you go, ooh, I forgot what you do here. Play the video back and watch it again, or watch someone else's video. There's heaps of videos out there. Mine's not super technical, but it shows you how to do it. So yeah, good luck with your home renovations, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.